Good morning, students. Welcome back to the lecture series on remote sensing. In today's lecture, we are going to talk about platforms. In previous lecture, we have talked about sensors. So today, we are going to talk about on what sensors are mounted. Basically, platform is a stage where sensor or camera is mounted to acquire information about a target under investigation. According to Lysand and Kiefer in 2000 in their particular article, a platform is a vehicle from which a sensor can be operated. Okay. They can vary from step ladders to satellites, and they came in different types. There are different type of platforms, and based on its altitude above the Earth's surface, they are classified. In remote sensing, a platform is where a sensor is mounted. In general, remote sensing sensors are attached to moving platform such as aircraft and satellites. Static platforms are occasionally used in an experimental context. For example, by using a multispectral sensor mounted to a pole, the changing reflectance characteristic of a specific crop during the day or season can be assessed. Airborne observation are carried out using aircraft with specific modifications to carry sensor. An aircraft that carries an aerial camera or a scanner needs a hole in the floor of the aircraft. Sometimes ULVs, that is ultralight vehicles, balloons, zeppelins, or kites are used for airborne remote sensing. Airborne observations are possible from 100 meter to up to 30 to 40 km of height. Until recently, the navigation of an aircraft was one of the most difficult and crucial part of airborne remote sensing. In recent years, the availability of satellite navigation technology, by I mean a GPS. Okay, in recent year, the availability of satellite navigation technology has significantly improved the quality of flight execution. For spacebound remote sensing, satellites are used. Satellites are launched into space using rockets. Satellites for Earth observation are positioned in the orbits between 150 km up to 36,000 km altitude. The specific orbit depends on the objective of the mission. For example, continuous observation of large areas or detailed observation of smaller areas. Okay. Based on certain and all these classifications and difference between the altitude above the earth's surface, platforms are classified into different type, or you can say there are numerous types of platform that is available for mounting a sensor, and those are as follows. Ground based platform. Wide varieties of ground based platforms are used in remote sensing. Some of the common ones are handheld devices, tripods, towers, cranes, etc. To study properties of a single plant or a small patch of grass, ground based platforms are used. Ground based platforms can be either handled or mounted on tripod or mounted one, are also used for sensor calibration, quality control, and for the development of new sensors. For the field investigation, some of the most popular platforms have been used are cherry picker platform, portable mast, and towers. The cherry picker platform can be extended to approximately 15 meters. They have been used by various laboratories to carry spectral reflectance meters and photographic system. Portable masts are also available in various forms and can be used to support cameras and sensors for testing. The main problem with this mast is that of stabilizing the platform, particularly in windy conditions. Permanent ground platforms like towers and cranes are used for monitoring atmospheric phenomena and long term monitoring of terrestrial features. Towers can be built on site and can be tall enough to project through a forest canopy so that a range of measurements can be taken from the forest floor, through the canopy, and from above the canopy. Other platform is balloon platform. Balloon platforms are not very expensive like aircraft. They have a great variety of shape, size, and performance capability. The balloons have low acceleration, require no power, and exhibit low vibration. There are three main type of balloon system. The first one is free balloon, second is tethered balloon, and third one is powered balloon. Free balloon can reach almost top of the atmosphere, hence they can provide a platform at intermediate altitude below those of aircraft and spacecraft. Free floating or anchored balloon have altitude range from 22 to 40 km and can be used to limit extent or as a platform up to limited use. It is used for probing the atmosphere and also useful for testing the instrument under development. In India at present, uh, TIFR Mumbai has a setup of National Balloon Facility at Hyderabad. The third balloon are connected to the Earth station by means of wire shaving, high tensional strength and high flexibility. Another type of platform is an aircraft platform. Aerial platform are primarily stable wing aircraft. Helicopters are also occasionally used for this purpose. Generally, aircraft are used to collect very detailed images. Helicopters can be for pinpointing location, but it vibrates and lacks stability. Another platform is low altitude aircraft. The low altitude aircraft are widely used and general operates between, sorry, not between, but below 30,000 feet. 30,000 feet. Okay. They have single engine and light twin engine. It is suitable for obtaining image data for small areas having large scale. There is also comes an high altitude aircraft similar to low altitude aircraft, which is more stable and it operates at a height of about 30,000 feet. High altitude aircrafts include jet aircraft with good rate of climb, maximum speed, and high operating ceiling. It acquires imagery for large areas. For example, NHAP, NAP, Everest are some of the aircraft high altitude aircraft platforms. Aircraft platform acquire imagery under suitable weather condition. It controls platform variables such as altitude. Time of coverage can be controlled. However, it is expensive, less stable than spacecraft, and has motion blurring. We can also use rockets as platform. Prior to use of airplane, aerial photography were obtained by rocketing a camera into the sky and then retrieving the camera and film. Synoptic imagery can be obtained from rockets for areas of some 500,000 square kilometer, that is 5 lakh square kilometer. One of the older one is the Skylark Earth Resort rocket is fired from a mobile launcher to altitude between 90 to 400 kilometers. With the help of a parachute, the payload and the spent water are returned to the ground gently, thereby enabling the speedy recovery of the photographic record. This rocket system has been used in surveys over Australia and Argentina. In 1946, V-2 rockets acquired from Germany after World War II were launched to high altitudes from White Sand, New Mexico. This rocket contained automated still or movie camera that took picture as vehicle ascended. The main problem with rockets is that they are one-time observations only. Except for one-time qualitative or reconnaissance purpose, rocket platforms are not much of use in regular operating system. as of now. As of now, and currently there are many techniques available for identification, finding the place of the rocket, or using the same rocket, reusing the same rocket again, but they are too much, we can say, costly and out of budget. We are already using spacecraft as a platform. Remote sensing is also conducted for from the space shuttle or artificial satellites. Artificial satellites are man-made objects which revolve around another object. The 1960s saw the primary platform, which used to carry remotely sensed instruments, shifted from the airplane to satellite. Satellites can cover much more land space than planes and can monitor areas on a regular basis. Beginning with the first television and infrared observation satellite, TIROS 1, television and infrared observation satellite TIROS 1 in 1960, early weather satellites returned rather poor views of cloud. Due to cloud pattern, they provide a poor view and almost indistinct images of the Earth's surface. Space photography becomes better and was further extended with the Apollo program. In 1973, Skylab, the first American space workshop, was launched, and its astronauts took over 35,000 images of Earth with the Earth Resource Experiment Package (EREP) on board. Later, on which Landsat program and Spot satellite program, along with the space photography, received a higher impetus and are planned. So mainly based on these are the type of platform, but going into the list we came to know that there are mainly two categories of remote sensing platforms. The first one is airborne and the second one is spaceborne. So let's talk about some basic talk about airborne and spaceborne remote sensing systems. How this platform are used for carrying out airborne and spaceborne remote sensing. Airborne remote sensing is carried out using different type of aircraft depending on the operational requirement and budget availability. The speed of aircraft can vary between 140 to 600 km per hour and is among others related to the mounted sensor system. Apart from the altitude, also the aircraft orientation affects the geometric characteristics of the remote sensing data acquired. The orientation of the aircraft is influenced by wind condition and can be corrected for to some extent by the pilot. Three different aircraft rotations relative to the reference path are possible: roll, pitch and yaw. That is roll angle, pitch angle and yaw angle as shown in the figure. An inertial measurement unit IMU can be installed in the aircraft to measure this rotation. Subsequently, the measurements can be used to correct the sensor data for the resulting geometric distortion. Today, most aircraft are equipped with satellite navigation technology, which yield the approximate position using RMS error of less than 30 meter. Okay. More precise positioning and navigation up to decimeter accuracy is also possible using the so-called differential approaches technique. While there are many textbooks, if you refer to satellite navigation in general, which comprises of GPS system like American GPS system, Russian GLONASS system, and European Galileo system. IRNSS from India is also one of the important GPS system. In aerial photography, the measurements are stored on hard copy material and negative film. For other sensors, for example scanner, the digital data can be stored on tap or mass memory device. Tape recorders offer the fastest way to store the vast amount of data. The recorded data are only available after the aircraft has returned to its base. Owning, operating and maintaining survey aircraft as well as employing a professional flight crew is an expensive undertaking. In the past, Survey aircraft were owned mainly by large national survey organizations that required large amount of photography. There is an increased trend towards contracting specialized private aerial survey companies. Still, this requires basic understanding of the process involved. The sample contract for outsourcing aerial photography is provided by different remote sensing and photography society website. Next comes the space-bound remote sensing. Space-bound remote sensing is carried out using sensors that are mounted on satellites. The monitoring capabilities of the sensor are to a large extent determined by the parameters of the satellite orbits. Different type of orbits are required to achieve continuous monitoring program to achieve continuous monitoring, for example meteorology, to achieve global mapping, for land cover mapping, or for selective imaging, for example imaging of an urban area. For remote sensing purpose, the following orbit characteristics are relevant. First one is altitude, which is the distance, mainly in kilometer, from the satellite to the mean surface level of the Earth. Typically, remote sensing satellite orbits either at 150 or 600 to 800 km for polar or at 36,000 km for geostationary orbit. The distance influences to a large extent which area is viewed. Second comes the inclination angle, which is the angle in degrees between the orbit and the equator. The inclination angle of the orbit determines, together with field of view of the sensor, which latitude can be observed. If the inclination is 60 degrees, then satellite flies over the earth between latitude 60 degrees south and 60 degrees north. It cannot observe parts of the earth at latitude above 60 degrees. And one of the most important point which you have to remember, I am repeating it again, if the inclination of a satellite is 60 degrees, then the satellite flies over the earth between latitude 60 degrees south and 60 degrees north. It cannot observe part of the earth at latitude above 60 degrees. Third important point is period, which is time required to complete one full orbit, and it is in minutes. A polar satellite orbits at 800 km altitude and has a period of 90 minutes. A ground speed of 28,000 km per hour is almost 8 km per second compared to this figure with the speed of an aircraft, which is around 400 km per hour. The speed of the platform has implications for the type of images that can be acquired. That is the time of exposure. The fourth important parameter is repeat cycle, which is the time, especially in days occurs. The repeat cycle is in days. So repeat cycle is the time between two consecutive identical orbits. The revisit time, the time between two subsequent images of the same area, is determined by the repeat cycle together with the pointing capability of the sensor. Pointing capability refers to the possibility of the sensor platform to look sideways. Push broom scanners such as those mounted on Spot, IRS and Iconos have this possibility. Mainly remote sensing mission has polar, near polar or geostationary orbit. Some have sun synchronous orbit, some have geostationary orbit, and which we have already talked about it. It is to be noted that the data of the space-bound remote sensing satellites or sensors needed to be sent to the ground for further analysis and processing. Some older space-bound systems utilized film cartridges that fell back to the destined area of Earth. In the meantime, practically all Earth observation satellite applies satellite communication technology for downlink of the data. The acquired data are sent down to a receiving station or to another communication satellite that downlink the data to receive antenna or to the receiving antenna on the ground station. If the satellite is outside the range of the receiving station, the data can be temporarily stored by a tape recorder that is attached with the satellite and is transmitted later. One of the trend is that small receiving unit consisting of small dish with a PC are being developed for local reception of the image data. So students, hope you have enjoyed this lecture. As a summary, we have talked about different type of platforms used for mounting sensors, which include airborne and spaceborne platforms. We have talked about ground-based platform, balloon platform, low and high altitude aircraft, rocket and spacecrafts. Hope you have enjoyed this session. If you have any query, you can contact me. Have a safe day. Have a nice day. Goodbye.